It was a quiet Friday's night. Lauren was in the shower, and I was sitting on our couch, feeling grateful for the simple peace we had built together. 2 years of love trust and planning our future. Then my phone buzzed. A text from an unknown number changed everything. 8 words that made my heart stop. She still loves me. Just ask her. I stared at the screen, wondering if the past 2 years had been a beautiful lie. Before I share what happened next, let me know where you are watching from today. Drop your location in the comments. If stories about trust betrayal and standing up for yourself resonate with you, hit that like button and subscribe to join our community. What I discovered that night changed everything I thought I knew about love and loyalty. Let me take you back to where it all began. My name is Chauncey, and I am 31 years old. I work as a graphic designer at a mid-sized company in Denver, Colorado. I have always been the type of person who gives everything in a relationship. When I love completely. Maybe that comes from watching my parents go through a painful divorce when I was 12. I remember sitting on the stairs listening to them argue about who forgot what anniversary, who worked too late, who stopped trying first. I promised myself I would never let that happen to me. I would find someone and build something real, something lasting. I met Lauren on a Saturday morning at a small coffee shop near my office. I had gone there to escape my apartment and work on some freelance projects. She was sitting by the window reading a book that I recognized immediately. It was one of my favorites, a novel about a man who travels across the country to find himself after losing everything. I took a chance and walked over to her table. That book changed my life when I read it in college. I said, probably sounding like an awkward stranger. She looked up and I noticed her eyes first. They were green, bright, and curious. Her brown hair fell past her shoulders, and when she smiled, I felt something shift inside me. Really, I am only halfway through, but I already feel like I understand the main character better than I understand myself, she replied. We talked for 3 hours that day. She told me about her job as a marketing coordinator, her love for hiking, and her dream of visiting Japan someday. I told her about my work, my failed attempt at learning guitar, and my obsession with making the perfect homemade pizza. By the time the coffee shop closed, I had her number saved in my phone, and I knew I wanted to see her again. Our first official date was a week later. We went for a walk in a park near downtown, then grabbed dinner at a Thai restaurant she loved. Everything felt natural with Lauren. She laughed at my terrible jokes. She remembered small details I mentioned and brought them up later. She made me feel seen in a way no one else ever had. After 6 months of dating, Lauren moved into my apartment. It felt like the right step. We had talked about our futures, and they seemed to align perfectly. She wanted stability, a partner who was present, someone who would build a life with her. I wanted exactly the same thing. We started discussing marriage, casually looking at houses online, imagining what our life could look like in 5 or 10 years. I introduced her to my family during Thanksgiving. My mom loved her immediately. My younger sister said Lauren was way too good for me, which I took as the highest compliment. Lauren fit into my life like she had always been there. About 4 months into our relationship, Lauren told me about her ex-boyfriend. His name was Derek. They had been together for 3 years before breaking up, about 8 months before she met me. According to Lauren, the relationship ended because Derek was not ready for commitment. He wanted to keep his options open to live without the weight of responsibility. She said she had given him everything, and he had given her excuses. I wasted 3 years waiting for him to grow up, she told me one night. When I finally ended it, I felt relieved more than sad. I believed her. Why would I not? She was with me now. Derek was in the past. I did not think about him again for a long time. But looking back, there were signs. Small moments I dismissed because I did not want to see them. The first sign came about 8 months into our relationship. We were watching a movie on the couch when her phone buzzed. She glanced at it, and I noticed her expression change for just a second. Then she quickly turned the phone face down. "Who was that?" I asked casually. "Just a coworker asking about a project," she said, her eyes returning to the screen. I did not push. I trusted her. The second sign happened a few weeks later. We were having dinner at a new Italian restaurant downtown. Halfway through our meal, Lauren suddenly tensed up. I followed her gaze to a man walking past our table toward the back of the restaurant. Tall blonde hair, confident stride. "You okay?" I asked. "Yeah, fine. Just thought I saw someone I knew," she said quickly, then changed the subject to our upcoming weekend plans. The third sign was subtler. Over time, I noticed that Lauren would occasionally mention Derek in random conversations. Not in a nostalgic way, exactly, but in a way that suggested he still occupied space in her mind. "Derek used to hate Italian food," she said once, when we were deciding where to eat. "Derek never understood why I love rainy days." She mentioned another time when we were watching a storm through our window. I told myself it was normal. People talk about their exes sometimes. It does not mean anything, but a small part of me wondered why his name came up so often. The fourth sign was the hardest to ignore. One night, about a year into our relationship, I woke up around 3 in the morning. Lauren was sleeping beside me, but she was mumbling something. I leaned closer, trying to understand. "Derek?" she whispered. Then something else I could not make out. My heart pounded. I lay there in the dark, staring at the ceiling, telling myself it was just a dream. Dreams do not mean anything. People dream about all sorts of random things. But I could not fall back asleep that night. Around the 18-month mark, my best friend Marcus pulled me aside during one of our regular hangouts. Marcus and I had been friends since college. He was the kind of guy who always told you the truth, even when you did not want to hear it. "I need to tell you something," he said, his voice serious. "Last Tuesday, I was at that bar on 16th Street. I saw Lauren there." "So, she goes out with her coworkers sometimes," I said. "She was with a guy. Tall blonde. They were sitting pretty close, talking intensely." My stomach dropped. "Did you see anything else?" "No. They were just talking. But it looked... I do not know, man. It looked like more than a casual conversation." I confronted Lauren that night, trying to keep my voice calm. "Marcus said he saw you at a bar with some guy last week." Lauren did not miss a beat. "Oh, that was probably Tyler from work. We had to discuss a project deadline. His apartment is near that bar, so we met there." "Tyler? I thought you said your project partner was a woman named Sarah." "Tyler joined the project recently. It is a big team." I wanted to believe her. I needed to believe her. So I did. I told Marcus he was probably mistaken, that Lauren had explained everything. Marcus did not look convinced, but he let it go. Looking back, I realized I was building a house on sand and refusing to acknowledge the cracks in the foundation. 3 weeks after my conversation with Marcus, everything changed. It was a Friday night, around 11 o'clock. Lauren had just gotten into the shower after we finished watching a movie together. I was flipping through channels, feeling content. The week had been long, and I was looking forward to a relaxing weekend with her. Then my phone buzzed. Unknown number. I almost ignored it, assuming it was spam. But something made me open the message. "Dude, she still loves me. Just ask her. We met last week, and she said things haven't been the same since me. Stop wasting your time." I read the message 3 times. The spelling errors, the tone. Whoever sent this was clearly drunk, but the words themselves were sharp enough to cut through any intoxication. I opened a new browser tab and searched the phone number. Nothing came up at first. Then I tried a reverse lookup site. A name appeared, Derek Thompson. I went to Facebook and searched for him. There he was. The same tall blonde guy Marcus had described. The same person I had glimpsed at the Italian restaurant, Lauren's ex. My hands were shaking when I heard the shower turn off. A few minutes later, Lauren walked out in her pajamas, her wet hair wrapped in a towel. She smiled at me. "What are you watching?" she asked, settling onto the couch. I did not answer. Instead, I handed her my phone. "Can you explain this?" I watched her face as she read the message. The color drained from her cheeks. Her mouth opened slightly, then closed. She stared at the screen for what felt like an eternity. "This is from Derek," she finally said. "He is drunk. He does not know what he is saying." "Did you meet him last week?" The pause before her answer told me everything I needed to know. "Yes," she admitted. "But it was just coffee. I ran into him and we caught up. That is all." "Why did you not tell me?" "Because I knew you would overreact. It was nothing, Chauncey. Just two people who used to know each other having a conversation." "Then why is he texting me, saying you told him things have not been the same since him?" Lauren looked away. Her hands were trembling slightly. "Do you still love him?" I asked. The question came out quieter than I intended. She did not answer immediately, and in that silence, I felt the ground beneath me start to crumble. "It is complicated," she finally said. Those 3 words hit me harder than any insult or accusation could have. 2 years. 2 years of building a life together, of planning a future, of believing I had found my person. And her response to the most important question I had ever asked her was, "It is complicated." "What does that mean?" I demanded. "You either love me or you do not. There is nothing complicated about it." Lauren started crying. "I do love you, Chauncey. I do. But Derek was my first real love. We were together for 3 years. You do not just erase that completely. I am not asking you to erase it. I am asking if you are still in love with him." "I do not know," she whispered. "Sometimes I wonder what could have been, but that does not mean I do not love you." "Have you been seeing him behind my back?" She hesitated again. Each pause was another knife in my chest. "We have met a few times over the past couple months, just to talk." "How many times?" 3, maybe 4. "And you never thought to mention this to me." "I knew you would be upset. And it really was innocent, Chauncey. We were just talking." "Did anything happen between you two?" Lauren's face crumbled. "He kissed me once. At the end of our last meeting. I did not expect it. I did not kiss him back, but I also did not push him away right away." The image of Derek kissing my girlfriend seared itself into my brain. I felt physically sick. "Let me see your phone," I said. "Chauncey, please." "Let me see it." She handed it over reluctantly. I opened her messages and found Derek's name near the top. As I scrolled through their conversation, my world continued to collapse. They had been texting almost every day. He called her babe and my girl. She never corrected him. There were messages where she told him she missed him, missed the way things used to be. One message in particular destroyed me. "Sometimes I wonder, what if we never broke up?" I set the phone down carefully, afraid that if I gripped it any tighter, I would throw it across the room. "I never meant for this to happen," Lauren said through her tears. "Then what did you mean to happen?" "What was the plan here, Lauren? Keep me around as your backup while you figured out if you wanted to go back to him?" "No, I love you. I chose to be with you." "You chose to lie to me for months. You chose to meet up with your ex, let him kiss you, text him every day while sleeping next to me every night." I stood up and walked to the bedroom. I needed to get away from her, to think, to breathe. But there was no escaping the truth that had just detonated in the middle of my life. I lay in bed that night, staring at the ceiling, listening to Lauren cry softly on the couch. Every memory from the past 2 years played through my mind, now tainted by doubt. Was any of it real? Did she ever fully commit to us? Or was part of her always waiting for Derek to come back? By the time the sun came up, I had made my decision. I could not be with someone who was not sure about me. I deserved better than being someone's complicated situation. I got out of bed early before Lauren woke up. I moved quietly through the apartment, gathering my thoughts and my resolve. Then I walked to our closet and pulled out her large suitcase, the one she had brought when she moved in, the one we had taken on our trip to San Francisco last summer. I unzipped it and started packing her clothes. Each item I folded and placed inside carried a memory. The blue dress she wore on our first anniversary dinner, the sweater she always stole from my side of the closet because she said it smelled like me, the hiking boots we bought together before our trip to the mountains. I packed it all, methodically, calmly, not out of anger, but out of certainty. Lauren woke up when I was almost finished. She stumbled into the bedroom, her eyes puffy from crying, and froze when she saw what I was doing. "What are you doing?" she asked, her voice cracking. "Packing your things." "Chauncey, please. Can we talk about this?" I stopped and looked at her. Really looked at her. This woman I had loved, had trusted, had planned to marry. And I felt something shift inside me. The desperate need to fix things, to make it work, faded. In its place was clarity. "You said it is complicated," I said, "but I think it is actually very simple." I zipped up the suitcase and wheeled it toward her. "Go be complicated somewhere else." Lauren broke down. "Chauncey, I am so sorry. I will end things with Derek completely. I will block him, delete his number. I will do whatever it takes." "Why?" "Because you got caught." She had no answer. "If Marcus had not seen you, if Derek had not sent that text, would you have ever told me the truth?" Silence. That is what I thought. "Please give me another chance. 2 years, Chauncey. 2 years has to mean something." "It does mean something. It means I gave you 2 years of my complete trust and loyalty. 2 years of planning a future with you. And you spent those 2 years keeping a door open for someone else, wondering what if about another man while lying next to me." Lauren reached for me, but I stepped back. I cannot be with someone who is not sure about me. I will not be anyone's second choice or backup plan. You need to leave. Where am I supposed to go? I do not know. Maybe Derek can help you figure that out. She stood there for a long moment, tears streaming down her face. Then she walked to the suitcase, grabbed the handle, and headed toward the door. She paused with her hand on the doorknob and looked back at me. "I really did love you, Chauncey." "Not enough," I replied. "Not nearly enough." The door closed behind her, and the apartment fell silent. I sat down on the couch in the exact spot where she had been sleeping and let out a breath I felt like I had been holding for months. A few hours later, my phone rang. It was Derek's number. Part of me wanted to ignore it, but another part wanted to say what I had been thinking. "Hello?" So she showed up at my place. Derek said, his voice smug. "Thanks for that, man. She is all yours, but let me give you some advice." "What is that?" "If she did this to me after 2 years, she will do it to you too. The woman who will cheat with you will cheat on you. Good luck." I hung up before he could respond. Then I blocked his number. Then I blocked Lauren's. Then I deleted every photo of us from my phone. I called Marcus. "She is gone," I told him. "What happened?" I explained everything. The texts, the confession, the suitcase. "I am sorry, man," Marcus said. "I know that does not help, but I am. You tried to warn me. I should have listened. You loved her. That is not a crime. Can you come over? Bring some beer. Already on my way." That night, Marcus and I sat on my couch, drinking and talking about everything except Lauren. He did not say, "I told you so." He just listened and reminded me that I was going to be okay. That was the night I started to believe him. The first week was brutal. I could barely focus at work. Every corner of my apartment held a ghost of Lauren. Her favorite mug in the cabinet, the plant she had bought for the living room, the empty space on her side of the closet. But I did not reach out to her. I did not check her social media. I did not ask mutual friends how she was doing. I held firm to my decision because I knew it was right. After 2 weeks, I decided to reclaim my space. I rearranged the furniture. I donated the things she had left behind. I bought new bed sheets, new towels, a new coffee maker. Small changes, but they helped. I started going to the gym every morning before work. The physical exhaustion helped quiet my mind. I signed up for a cooking class on Saturday mornings, something I had always wanted to do, but never made time for. I reconnected with friends I had neglected during my relationship. Slowly, I started to feel like myself again. Not the person I was before Lauren, but a new version. Someone who had been through something painful and come out the other side. I spent a lot of time reflecting on what had happened, not to torture myself, but to learn from it. I thought about all the signs I had ignored, the phone she hid, the name she mumbled in her sleep, the way Derek kept appearing in her stories. I had seen the red flags and convinced myself they were just decorations. The first lesson I learned was that trust should be earned continuously, not given blindly. I had trusted Lauren completely because I wanted to, not because she had proven she deserved it. The second lesson was about the power of those 3 words. It is complicated. When someone cannot give you a straight answer about their feelings, that is your answer. Clarity is a form of respect. If someone respects you, they will be clear with you. The third lesson was the hardest. I learned that loving someone does not mean accepting less than you deserve. I had been so afraid of losing Lauren that I overlooked things I should have confronted. I had made myself smaller to keep her comfortable. 3 months after Lauren left, I barely recognized my old self. I was in the best shape of my life. I had been promoted at work. My friendships were stronger than ever. I had learned to enjoy my own company. A new graphic designer joined our team. Her name was Sophie. She had transferred from our Seattle office. She was kind, funny, and had this laugh that made everyone around her smile. We started eating lunch together sometimes. Nothing romantic, just 2 colleagues becoming friends. But I noticed something different about myself. I was not looking for Sophie to fill a void. I was not desperate for connection or validation. I was simply open to whatever might come, without forcing anything. One evening, about 4 months after the breakup, I received a text from an unknown number. "Chauncey, it is Lauren. I am using a new number. Derek and I did not work out. He cheated on me with someone he met at a bar. I know I do not deserve your forgiveness, but I wanted you to know you were right about everything. I made the biggest mistake of my life when I let you go. I hope you are happy." I read the message twice. I waited for some feeling to emerge. Satisfaction maybe, or anger, or sadness. But all I felt was peace. I did not respond. I deleted the message and put my phone away. Her story was no longer my concern. I wished her well in my mind, but I had no desire to reopen that chapter. Looking back on everything, I realized that the night Derek sent me that drunk text was actually a gift. It forced a truth into the light that might have stayed hidden for years. It gave me the chance to stand up for myself and walk away from something that was slowly poisoning me. The betrayal hurt. Of course it did. But it did not define me. What defined me was what I did next. I chose self-respect over desperation. I chose clarity over confusion. I chose to walk away rather than beg someone to love me the way I deserved. Sometimes the best thing someone can do for you is show you who they really are. And the best thing you can do for yourself is believe them the first time. I handed Lauren a suitcase that night. But what I really gave myself was freedom. Now I want to hear from you. Have you ever had to make a difficult decision to protect your own self-worth? Have you ever walked away from someone you loved because they could not love you the way you needed? Share your story in the comments below. Your experience might help someone else who is going through something similar. If this story resonated with you, please hit the like button and share it with someone who might need to hear it today. Subscribe to the channel so you do not miss more stories about real life, real struggles, and real strength. Thank you for watching and for being part of this community. I hope you always remember your worth, and I hope you never settle for being someone's complicated. You deserve someone who chooses you clearly, completely, and without hesitation. Take care of yourselves, and I will see you in the next one.